Welcome to Primetime Live at the Duxbury Senior Center. I'm Joanne Moore, and I'll be the host for today's show. I'm so fortunate to have two amazing ladies with me today. They started this amazing fun nonprofit organization that helps families on the South Shore. Kristen Frazier and Sarah Vicidomini. I was so afraid I was going to say your last name wrong. I got choked up, so I'm sorry. So thank you so much for being with us today, and what you do is amazing. I've gotten a look at your website, and wow, is all I can say. So first of all, I know our guests will want to know, how did this all get started?
So Wicked Good Cause was started in 2013 after I actually heard a story about a local girl, Kelly Cronk, and she was battling DIPG, which is an inoperable brain tumor, and the family was raising money for research. They didn't need financial help themselves, but they were trying to make an impact in the world of DIPG because there's just simply not enough research, and the treatment it's tough in general, and there is no cure. They were having a road race to raise money, and a bunch of us heard about it, and I reached out to some Duxbury girls and said, would you all want to run this race in support of Callie, but we'll come as Duxbury, even though they're in Norwell, and just show that we're not in your town, but we hear your story. We're mothers too, and it spoke to us. So it started out as Duxbury Moms for Callie, and there was about 75 of us that showed up with our shirts, and they were Duxbury Kids for Callie, and some dads, and it was so inspiring and heartwarming. I drove away from that race, and this always makes me laugh, but I said, I'm going to start a nonprofit. And then my next thought was, what's a nonprofit? So I didn't have any experience, but luckily I had an impromptu focus group after tennis one night and bought some wine and asked everyone's opinions. And from that night, Wicked Good Cause was born with the intent of helping people in basically our community, which is the South Shore, that have been affected by unforeseen accident, illness, or tragedy. And we were going to have an annual fundraiser that was a gala, or I always say prom for adults. I thought there was a need for it. We all wanted to get dressed up, and why not do it for a good cause? So the first winter ball was in 2014, and since then the organization has grown. We helped one recipient that year from Norwell. Since the road race, Callie passed away. And her family, what they did for DIPG, we've met people since then, and they said that the work the Cronks actually did has helped, kids they have known to have better treatments or made advances. And just the other day, I actually sat down with Rachel Cronk for the first time since this all happened. It's been a lot for their family, and they went on to have another child, and I actually delivered some gold, which we'll talk about our gold campaign in a minute, but I delivered some things to her, and we actually had the opportunity to sit down, and it was heartwarming to tell her that she knew the organization was founded after Callie, but she didn't ever really grasp it, and so she was so
and even
honored.
the ripple effect of what the work that is being done, it just besides just helping the family, it's helping so many other people on the South Shore in Massachusetts, and who knows how far, because Boston has such amazing hospitals that people come from all around the world.
Absolutely. So we had the gala each year, which we'd helped one family the first year, and the second year two, and since then we've had 3 recipients per gala, and they each ended up with around $20,000 this year. It wasn't all even, but we raised about $60 to give out after costs. And then this campaign that Sarah and I and a team of women have been working on is our Go Wicked Gold. We sort of saw a trend with our recipients that a lot of the people that needed help seemed to be parents with children battling cancer. Right. And they all felt that there wasn't enough research or attention to pediatric cancer. Only 4% of government funding goes to pediatric cancer research. Okay. So last year, in a short time, we threw together a campaign. Everyone goes pink in October for breast cancer, and that campaign has really made an impact on people who are affected with breast cancer. Now there's a much bigger survival rate now because of that campaign. And you see pro athletes and, all across the board.
The NFL, just as one example.
Everyone. So our goal was, well, how come no one goes gold in September? That's the designated month for pediatric cancer awareness. So last year we sold some t-shirts and tried to encourage student athletes to wear gold socks that we provided and sold. And we have a luminary night that happens this year. It's happening September 30th, where we have luminary bags, and we ask everyone, wherever you are, to light them up Saturday night for pediatric cancer awareness. That was inspired by one of our past recipients from Carver, Zach Kane. He passed away 2 years ago this month. He had Ewing sarcoma. He was diagnosed when he was 14, and he lost his battle with Ewing sarcoma in September a year ago, last year when we did it. So it's 2 years, but we did that in memory of Zach and for all those who have fought or are fighting pediatric cancer. Sarah and a number of other women on our team really made this campaign much larger. We started preparing a few months earlier this time, and I think we've learned so much that even next year, this will start in June with getting different towns on board.
So are people doing luminaries in all the towns on the South Shore?
Yeah, and most towns on the South Shore, there will be a big presence for luminaries. We ordered, last year I think there were 60,000 bags.
16,000,
and this year 40,000.
That's amazing. And how much is a bag, just in case someone wanted to know that?
So a package of 12 is $10.
Oh, okay.
And then you can bulk order as well.
Great.
And they're beautiful gold bags with the ribbon, the cutout, and we're encouraging everyone to use battery-operated tea lights. So, no matter the weather.
And Saturday's going to be a beautiful night, which is terrific.
Yeah. So everyone's really excited about the event on Saturday night. So it should be.
That's more kind of our awareness leg of the campaign. But we've also raised money through the Falmouth Road Race. We had 25 bibs, I think,
and 28 runners.
Yes.
Some who didn't.
Are those bibs hard to get, like the Boston?
They are hard.
They are actually,
If you don't run for a charity, there's only a certain number, and you
it's
go
a
into
lottery.
a lottery.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's not easy to get into the race. So
yes, so we had 28 people because 3 people got
their own bibs and raised money for Wicked Good
Wonderful.
Cause. So that was kind of our kickoff event for this Go Wicked Gold campaign for September, and almost $40,000 was raised from the road race.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow, from the road race.
Yeah.
And that was before September 1st. We had that going into this month.
It was August 20th. So that was kind of the
That's
kickoff.
nice to have that to move into September.
And we had
worked out perfect.
3 runners that were 10 and 11 years old that raised money and just went all out. And
it's wonderful when volunteerism starts at that age,
Yeah,
and that's someone
it's
who's going to
key.
volunteer their whole life.
And it's key.
Yeah.
It's such a life lesson to be able to offer your child that. And Falmouth's a tough race. We've run it. It's a tough race. And these 3 little boys are they were little machines.
And they just go.
And they were very proud and aware of the impact. They knew it wasn't just a race. They're runners. These kids are runners, but they were running for this cause and for these other kids. And there's such beauty in that.
Right. Amazing.
Yeah.
In addition to the Falmouth bib numbers and the luminary bags, we have different towns who've joined in on this campaign, and we have a number of different things. One thing Sarah has been kind of spearheading is our gold boots. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so, and I think the initial idea was from someone in Plymouth.
Is that right?
I
Okay.
think so. Well, so we have a number of gold boots that were painted gold and had the sign on them that give cancer the boot.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And you think I would know. And so local businesses have offered to host a boot.
Great.
And for people to donate their spare change or any amount of money and put it in the boot. And so these are all over towns in Duxbury and Plymouth and Carver and South Shore towns. And it's been a really nice representation of the campaign.
And to get the word out, because I bet a lot of people, if you didn't see it tweeting, you might not know about it, but people really want to help.
Yeah, and so it's been really nice to see the boots all over social media, and people know kind of now that that's the...
and will you keep those boots out after this campaign, or will they go away and come back out in next spring, summertime?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't think there's any... If if people still want to donate, we don't have to take them right away on October 1st,
Right.
And we'll definitely keep them for next year. There were, in fact, other businesses and places that wanted to host a boot, and we just ran out of boots, which is a great problem to have.
Right.
So,
For sure.
yeah. So that was a really neat aspect of the campaign.
Right. And so you said you became a 501(c). Was that a hard process for you? Did it happen right away?
The process was longer than I expected. We were we had a launch party to raise money initially just for startup funds, and then it was so successful. I actually asked my husband, I didn't work at the time, so I said, I need a budget to start this organization, and is that okay? And I've had some pretty crazy ideas over the years, and so he was like, this is you were born to do this. This is, of course, I can support, like, we can do this. And from that launch party, I said to the board members, I'm like, let's pay James back right away and get him out. He's not not part of this. Although his company, Gutter Pro, they sponsor our events. We have a lot of corporate support, and his company has been one of them that buys a table every year at the gala. Yep. He's a sponsor for Falmouth Road Race. Radius Group has been a sponsor in the past, and they just kicked off an idea they had where for every mortgage that they close this year, they gave us $50.
Wow.
So we keep getting checks from Bob Malone, which is, he's part of Radius Group, and his team has been helping us with this. So there's so many opportunities for different businesses, whether it's hosting a boot, buying a table at Winter Ball.
For this campaign, we've had neighborhood sponsors and town center sponsors.
So if someone was interested in sponsoring, so go to your website. Is that the best place to get the information?
Yes.
And there's probably contact information
yes,
on
there
it.
is. Yeah, all the information is right there on the website.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sure there are a lot of local businesses that would like to get on board because this is such a great cause.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So a couple questions. I know we're going to break soon. So how many people are on your board?
So our immediate board is Ryan Flame is the president, and we have Sarah and Kim Lecky, Sarah Vicidomini. The two of them kind of do our social media and all of our newsletters. Everything written gets edited by those two, and they're sticklers, so it's good. And, and all of our tweeting and Facebook updates, which is mostly how we keep in contact with people. And Kelsey Leahy, she's a great girl. She's in charge of our books. She's our treasurer, and she's, seeing everything, especially from this campaign, because there's so many different aspects to it. So, it's still in its infancy, this campaign. So she's watching, like, what is raising the money that we can give to research.
Where do we want to focus?
Yes, and what's worth our efforts? Is it, time productive? I think, is it worth?
And tweaking too. I know when we do fundraising events, you might do it one way the first year, and then you go, that part was really great. Let's expand on that.
We have a running list right now of the ways that we can, elevate the campaign and be more thoughtful. We've been very thoughtful, and it's been very successful.
But we know we can even do better. Jen Cross is on our board as well, and she's our secretary. She's constantly keeping notes on things as we start to prepare, because when this campaign ends, we have to get right back to work, preparing.
Lots of things going on, which we'll talk about after the break.
Absolutely.
So, but really exciting to learn about the Wicked Good Cause, and I just need to say thank you on behalf of the community for what you're doing. It's so exciting to hear about it, and heartwarming what a difference you're making in the community.
Thanks for having us.
We're looking forward to the second half of the show, so we can hear more about it and what's coming up next.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Primetime Live at the Duxbury Senior Center. I'm so fortunate to have Kristen and Sarah here from the Wicked Good Cause, and we're going to talk about some of the other exciting things that are coming down the pike. So let's talk about what's happening this weekend besides the Wicked Good Cause, the luminaries. What's after that?
So the luminaries, everyone's going to light up the whole South Shore. We have Hall's Corner in Duxbury, someone sponsored, and that's going to be lit up in Carver. The Carver team has been amazing. They're going to do the whole center of town. Plymouth has some key areas too, some key neighborhoods. Sunday, Pine Hills has partnered with us for a golf tournament. They did it on their own last year, and this year they really wanted to work with a nonprofit. It was very important that the recipient of the funds raised on Sunday went to a Plymouth family where Pine Hills is based. So we helped them select a recipient, and we'll be there during the day, handing out some information, giving swag bags to their golfers.
Great.
And then some of us will be there at night for their after party, and they allowed us the opportunity to speak about Wicked Good Cause a little bit and give everyone in the room kind of an idea who we are and what we're doing and how they can help.
Great.
Beyond that, that ends our Go Wicked Gold campaign for the month of September, and next year.
And then you roll right into October, which is the next day, and what happens next?
Yes, so then in October we'll be really meeting on how did the campaign go, how can we improve, what was good use of our time, what events or aspects of it raised the most money. And we've had great teams. We have a great team in Duxbury, a great team in Carver, and a great team in Plymouth. A little outreach, we know some people in Norwell who are past recipients, and then we're trying to grow. So
and how many volunteers do you think, that are involved?
Ballpark, I mean, in Duxbury alone, I know there were 30 to 40 people that offered to be volunteers that have helped with, they'll help with luminary setup and takedown and, hanging up flyers and whatnot. In other towns, I mean, I think just as much, if not more. We had an initial kickoff meeting back in June, and the room was filled, and everyone was really excited to be a part of the campaign. So we have some great volunteers.
And so how do you get the word out about the need for volunteers?
So social media has been our biggest avenue for getting the word out, and we're all social people as well. So and we're involved. Most of us have young kids, and we were around, and kids with their friends and activities were able to spread the word of mouth. And so it's been kind of a really. I mean, Kristen started this grassroots organization that it's amazing how far it's reached. So.
It is really amazing all that you have done in a short period of time and the lives that you've changed.
It's
and the volunteers
it's the
too.
people who are part of it, really. I mean, you can't do
can't
things
do it
on your own, and
no.
you can have an idea, and that's great. But if you don't have execution, and this isn't a one-man job, one-woman job. It really is. Even there's
team effort.
There's right now 6 of us in Duxbury that are pretty full-time dedicated to this month's campaign. But we have, and then there's other teams in Duxbury who handle the gala a lot, and or the yearly. They've been part of the board. We have term limits, so after 2 years, their positions change. But for the most part, everyone really stays involved. They promote status updates. They promote our campaigns.
I think once you're involved, you're never going to not
that.
be involved.
Right.
It's in your heart, and
right.
a lot of people have very personal reasons. I mean, we have mothers and fathers of recipients who are really involved in this Go Wicked Gold campaign. I'm a cancer survivor myself, and so this is personal for me, and I just can't imagine being, I think about my parents and what they went through when I was diagnosed, and it's even just knowing that there are others out there thinking of you.
Well, and that there's love
That
on
there's
the
support.
whole South Shore. It's that you're not facing this alone, because that can be so scary.
Yeah,
just
you
to
feel kind of isolated, like you're on this island, and to feel that support. And really to bring it up a notch, it's just, I feel so fortunate to be able to be involved in this campaign and the organization as a whole. So, and there are so many others like me who have personal reasons that they're involved, because all you want to do is to help others, and to, if you can in one small way, many large ways, make it easier for a family, or just let them know that you're behind them throughout this process, or what they're going through, the worst times, worst time of their life, really.
It means everything.
It means everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a little bit about a ball. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Winter Ball is our biggest annual fundraising event, although I think maybe the Go Wicked Gold campaign might surpass that.
Yeah.
But in the last few years, we've donated $60,000 just from this one night. It's been at Indian Pond every year. This year, our location is to be determined. It could still be there. We just have a lot of people to house. I think it sold out in 3 or 4 hours last year.
Yeah, just about that.
And those tickets you get online, or how do you find out about tickets?
Yeah, so we spread the word again via social media and word of mouth. And the tickets are online sales. And
I was going to say, it's a hot commodity.
And they go quick. Yeah.
They go really quick, and we don't want people to feel like they missed out, because we need the funds to donate, and we want people to be involved. It's a beautiful night. It's black tie optional, and it's a sit-down dinner. We have an amazing band, and that plays, and the Waves played last year, and
And do you always have the same band, or do you have a different band every year?
We've had different ones, but I think we all love the Waves, and would like to keep them involved, because there are also a lot of men in the band they live in our town or surrounding towns, and they've been very good to us and support this whole mission all along the way. But it's just a really great night, and we hear from the recipients that year, They don't bring their children, but the parents come. Or last year we had Carrie Leiden from Duxbury, and she had breast cancer, and she just finished up her last treatment. She's doing great, and her husband spoke on her behalf, and the parents of the other 2 recipients were children. Dan Kelly spoke, and Kevin Morrissey about little Kevin, and Dan spoke about Bridget, and the speeches are just so heartwarming when you're in that room.
Yeah.
And you hear families describing what their life has been like. When you hear a husband say, well, my wife hasn't been able to pick up our kids for 6 months because of her surgery or her treatment. She's lost all her hair.
Right.
And she's living in fear if I'm not here to see these kids. And you're in the room that night thinking, I want to help.
Right.
And you can help. You can buy raffles. You can bid on a silent auction just buying a ticket to the ball. You can go with your company if they buy a table. And then we have an online bidding.
So if someone isn't able to come, they can still support and help that way too.
Absolutely. Some people aren't overly social. Some people don't like to get dressed up, but most people want to help. They just need the avenue on how to do it. And they do it in different aspects. You might help by volunteering. You might help by writing a check. It's whatever you can do. Or coming to
an event. Right?
Yeah, it's whatever you can do.
Or donating, I'm sure, an auction item or a prize to the cause.
Yeah, we had so many great auction items for our silent auction last year, and so many businesses that.
So you did mention you do a silent auction at the event. Is that open all night? And you talked a little bit about some online. Tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the silent auction, in fact, I think we opened the sales prior to the start of the ball last year.
I think so, let people from home start bidding too, right?
Yeah, and great. So, we had pictures of our items, and that was a huge success. So, and then our online bidding event that we had last year, so basically it gives every attendee at the ball, and we even opened it to people that weren't attendees at the ball, the opportunity to take out their phone, and we have a fantastic MC who actually was the singer of the Waves last year, and he gets the whole crowd going. You have inspirational music, and it gives you the opportunity to pledge money right there from your phone. And you can watch this thermometer go up and up and up and up. And
that must feel so good as you're seeing that.
You can see people, you look around, you just heard these heartwarming speeches, and then people are taking out their phones. You just text a certain number in your name, and it goes up on the screen. $100 from the Smiths, and you see this thermometer rise, and the room is coming together.
Your heart must be just overflowing, just as
chills right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's
and
really awesome.
People say that we want people to come, and we want people to hear the recipients' stories, but we also want everyone to leave uplifted, including the recipients. And sometimes, could they use the financial support? Sure. I mean, they're going in and out of Boston, paying for parking, paying for meals, sitters,
extra childcare,
right? Whatever it entails. Yeah. But it's also, I think, the camaraderie.
I was going to say that sense of community that it's bigger than you. Like as you mentioned before, you weren't doing it alone, which I think must be such an amazing feeling.
Because if you feel that support, as a person who's gone through cancer, but even whatever your tragedy you're facing and the family, you're able to get up, the next day and put a smile on your face, and that is going to enable you to, whether it be endure a really tough treatment that day, or whatever it may be, it just gives you the strength to get up each day and hopefully smile, So, and that's our goal, is to make sure that everyone knows they're not alone. And assist them obviously in a financial way as well.
And really, like you were saying, the research, really expanding the research,
especially for this Goal Wicked Gold campaign.
And it may save someone else's life. You know what you're doing, the ripple effect is really just amazing for many families that may not even know that this is something that they may be facing in the upcoming years. And hopefully the cure will come. For many diseases.
If we can make this impact on the South Shore, and it continues to grow. If last year we gave away $30,000, and typically we give our money to actual people, it's recipients that are people. But this campaign is a cause-based campaign. And we gave money last year directly to research. The hospital in New York is Sloan Kettering Memorial we donated to, and I think we gave them $20,000. And they were working on a trial for pediatric brain tumors. So they're working. They need help. They need support.
Right.
Yeah. And this year we're hoping we're going to be donating even more money. And in terms of research, we have some guidance from some fantastic doctors right in Boston. And like you mentioned, I mean, we're so fortunate to live in Boston, where the hospitals and the research that come out of these hospitals is cutting edge. And so we're looking to donate the money to kind of that ground level, the investigators who need this seed money to be able to take that research to the next level. And for pediatric cancer, I mean, to be able to find treatments for these children that will allow them to lead, lives and not be treated with something that adults may develop for adults, but not necessarily for children. So, so we're looking to make a large impact with the money that we're raising from this campaign. So,
well, all I can say is thank you. You guys are an amazing nonprofit organization, and thank goodness for the first time you went out went out there to make a change in a young person's life, and what you're doing every day to help people. I just, as a resident of the South Shore, I just am blown away, and just want to say thank you for all you do.
Thank you to Kristen.
And
thank you,
and thank you to all the viewers and all the donators and sponsors and supporters. It takes a community, and I always say we have a great community, and I wish you the best of luck with your fundraising events.
Thank you so much.
This weekend, the golf outing and the ball.
Thanks, Joanne.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.